In the heart of ancient Rome, where the roar of the Colosseum shook the ground and the clash of steel echoed through the air, warriors fought not just for survival but for spectacle. Gladiators, men trained to battle to the death, were the ultimate symbols of power, masculinity, and raw strength. Their sweat, dripping under the scorching sun as they clashed in brutal combat, was more than just the byproduct of exertion. To Roman women, it was a sacred elixir, a beauty secret unlike any other. Believed to possess mystical and seductive properties, gladiator sweat was collected, bottled, and sold in markets like the finest perfume or the most coveted cosmetic potion. Women rubbed it onto their faces, used it as an aphrodisiac, and saw it as a way to absorb the strength and vitality of Rome's fiercest warriors. But how did this bizarre trend come to be? And why did Roman society embrace something so strange? Let's step back in time and uncover the sweaty, bloody truth. To understand why gladiator sweat became an obsession, we must first understand the gladiators themselves. They were more than just men who fought in arenas. They were celebrities, sex symbols, and walking embodiments of strength, power, and virility. Gladiatorial combat originated in Etruscan funerary traditions, where warriors fought as a blood sacrifice to honor the dead. By the time Rome adopted the practice, it had evolved into a form of public entertainment. The first recorded gladiator games in Rome took place in 264 BCE, and from there, they grew into a cultural phenomenon. Most gladiators were slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals forced to train in ludi, gladiator schools. However, some free men voluntarily joined the ranks in pursuit of fame, fortune, and admiration. Though life as a gladiator was brutal and short, the most successful fighters became icons of Roman society. Wealthy women fawned over them, their images were carved into statues, and some even achieved legendary status, much like modern-day athletes or movie stars. Gladiators represented raw, untamed masculinity. Their battles were life-or-death performances, and the blood, sweat, and pain they endured became part of their allure. Roman women who lived in a society that heavily restricted their power found themselves captivated by these untouchable warriors, and soon they believed that touching them could transfer their strength and vitality. At the height of the gladiatorial craze, vendors set up shop outside the Colosseum and amphitheaters, selling bottled gladiator sweat and scrapings of their skin mixed with oil. These precious fluids were collected from the bodies of fallen or victorious gladiators, and wealthy Roman women paid high prices for them. But why? Ancient Romans believed that bodily fluids contained a person's essence, strength, and power. Gladiators were seen as prime specimens of manhood, and their sweat, mixed with dust and blood, was thought to hold the secrets to youth, beauty, and sexual allure. Women applied it to their skin, hoping to absorb the strength of these warriors, and some even ingested small amounts as a supposed aphrodisiac. There are even accounts of Roman nobles rubbing gladiator blood onto their bodies, believing it could cure ailments and enhance their own vitality. While modern medicine would scoff at these ideas, there's a possible explanation for why gladiator sweat felt effective. The sweat itself contains salt and minerals, which, when mixed with oils, may have acted as an early exfoliant or moisturizer. However, the belief in magical transfer of strength far outweighed any scientific reality. While wealthy women indulged in the gladiator sweat craze, the rest of Roman society had mixed reactions. Roman men, especially the aristocrats and senators, hated the power gladiators held over women. Many elite men saw gladiators as low-born brutes, undeserving of the admiration of Rome's noble ladies. The idea that women would rather caress the sweat of a fighter than appreciate a senator's poetry was insulting. Many laws were put in place to prevent noble women from engaging in affairs with gladiators, though these rules were often ignored. Some senators even accused their wives of secretly visiting gladiator barracks, and divorces over gladiator obsessions were not uncommon. For Rome's working-class women, gladiator sweat was a forbidden luxury. While they may not have been able to afford bottled sweat, they could still flock to the games, watch their favorite fighters, and dream of touching the flesh of a warrior. Like all trends, the obsession with gladiator sweat eventually faded. By the 4th century CE, gladiatorial games began to decline as Christianity gained influence. The church viewed gladiator games as barbaric, and emperors, starting with Constantine, banned the practice altogether. With the end of the gladiators came the end of their bottled sweat. Without warriors battling in the Colosseum, there was no market for their fluids. Did anything replace it? While gladiator sweat disappeared, Roman women simply found new beauty trends to obsess over. Some turned to exotic creams and perfumes. Others believed in the miraculous properties of rare plants and minerals. And some sought out the blood of martyrs, believing it held a divine essence. While we may laugh at gladiator sweat as a beauty product, are we really that different today? Modern beauty trends include snail mucus face masks, vampire facials using real blood, and fish pedicures. Maybe the Romans weren't so strange after all. Maybe they were just ahead of their time. As the dust settles in the arena, we are reminded of the powerful allure that gladiators held over Rome. More than mere warriors, they were symbols of strength, resilience, and masculinity. Their blood, sweat, and sacrifice became more than just part of the battle. It became a cultural obsession, one that echoed through the streets even beyond the Colosseum. But as time passed, this intense fascination faded, replaced by new trends and new obsessions. Yet the echoes of those fierce battles still linger, reminding us of an ancient world where power and beauty were forever intertwined. If you've enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more captivating content. Your support helps fuel the hard work and dedication that goes into bringing these stories to life. Stay tuned.